because they connect computers and other things together with wires or cables, or using wireless technology, using radio waves. And so having to transport something, let's see if I've got a couple of things in my drawer here that I can show you. I've got an Ethernet cable, and I'm looking for a flash drive, but I don't see one. Usually I have a flash drive that I can get my hands on, but I don't see one today in my drawer. Let's see if I can find it. Flash drives and other things are ways you can move things, well, from one computer to another, but networks kind of eliminate the need to do that by connecting your network to your computer to a network. You're able to move files because they're electronic signals. You're able to move files on cables or wireless radio waves without having to physically copy it onto some device and physically move it to somewhere else. Okay, so that's why networking is really, really convenient. And there are small networks we have in our homes where we might have a computer and a TV and maybe a smart assistant connected all in one network, and maybe our phone. And there are really large networks like the internet, where there's thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of computers that connect with each other and are able to send information back and forth. So size of a network can be as big as it's technically possible to make it. But we typically are looking at a home network that is consisting of devices we have in our homes. And the advantages is that we don't need things like VHS tapes, or I mentioned flash drives, or CDs. I think I've got a floppy drive that I have here somewhere. Remember floppy drives? You know, these are 3.5-inch floppy drives. You used to get software on them and you'd install software. Now we download software over the internet in order to install it on our computers, because networks have gotten faster and faster. And we can keep information like that in the network, as opposed to having to keep it on a piece of media that we move from place to place. So things like pictures and images and music and video are all on networks. Networking has made streaming services like Disney Plus and Amazon Prime possible. They wouldn't be possible unless we had the ability to use networks that could move video files from the internet to our homes and let us play them on TV. So it's really kind of a miraculous technology that has been created that gives us the ability to do all these things. But you're probably using more networks than you realize. The telephone system is a network. When you dial a number and your telephone goes out and rings another phone number somewhere in the world, it gets there somehow over a network. Okay, it involves wires and cables and maybe wireless and other signals. You just don't know how it gets there, but somehow or another, when you dial somebody's phone number, it rings on the other end. And when they pick it up, you have a connection and you can carry on a conversation. It's actually a two-way form of communication, so that you can talk and they can talk. Okay, and so two-way communications, for those of you that want to know the technical terms for it, is called duplex, meaning you can send information both ways. Not all networks are duplex. Some are only send information one way, like your electric power in your home. You receive electric power from a network that somehow or another delivers electricity to your home. And when you plug in some kind of an electrical appliance like a lamp or a TV, you actually are able to power it on because you receive electricity from somewhere else that's manufactured. Yeah, Carol.
So I know about AC current. Doesn't that go both ways?
AC current is alternating current. It's basically alternates the direction of the current, but you can't If you have the right equipment, you can send power out on it, but you have to have the right equipment to do it. There are people who install solar systems in their homes, and they get paid by the electric company to transmit power to the electrical grid. So it is possible to go two ways with AC power. Kind of an interesting, but you have to have the right equipment for it to do it. But technically it's possible. Okay. So if you ever knew what was the story of Edison and I forget the other scientist that did the World's Fair in Chicago that worked for Westinghouse. He developed AC power, and there was a big, when electricity first came out, direct current and alternating current were two different opposing technologies. Alternating current won out, but we typically use direct current for powering our portable devices. That's why we have these adapters that plug into sockets. But you know that because you know how to use adapters. So you're a network professional already, right? You just didn't know it. Okay. Radio is a network. It is a radio station broadcasts a wireless signal and we pick it up on our radio. A television network is one way. If you're using rabbit ears or wireless antennas, you can pick up television signals. Some television networks broadcast over cable. And so cable comes to your home and lets you display cable television channels on your TV. There's an emerging technology that will make television two-way in communications, but it's just starting to get out now. A lot of the stations haven't upgraded their equipment yet to do it, but you'll be able to do things like they're going to use it for making purchases and selecting things and setting up schedules and stuff like that. It'll make TV a little more internet-like, and it will theoretically free TV channels like, say, ABC or somebody from cable networks. They won't have to always broadcast over a cable connection. You'll be able to get them from an antenna that you can put in your home. And then cellular telephones, our smartphones work on cellular networks. You've seen cell towers around. And so when we get a cellular signal, our cell phones can connect up to a cell tower and they can send and receive information through the cellular company that runs their own cellular network. If you don't have a tower nearby, you don't have a signal, you aren't on the network, right? So these are networks, you know. And you probably know that if you want to listen to a radio station, you need a radio. Or if you want to make a telephone call, you need a telephone. Or if you want to plug something into an electrical outlet, you need the kind of plug that plugs in. So networks are designed to work with other devices that use the same